Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a military blunders video on Gallipoli. There was a really great movie that came out years ago. Mel Gibson was in it, and there was somebody else. I can't remember his name. But they did the movie called Gallipoli. Go watch that, it's really good. I'm going to break it down here. In World War I, the Russians were suffering a heck of a beating. They were getting the snot kicked out of them. And they were desperately requesting that their allies, the British and the colonial forces, give them some sort of relief. And they specifically requested a new front be opened up in the Mediterranean against Turkey, Germany's ally. For those of you who don't know, fighting a war is bad. It's difficult to win a war without significant technological edge and blah, 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 blah. Well, back in World War I, nobody had a technological edge. Technology was in its infancy. So everybody was on the same footing. It came down to numbers. Who had the most people? Consequently, the more allies you had, the better off you were. Well, Russia was surrounded. They were fighting Germany on the Eastern Front. And when Turkey joined the war, they were fighting on multiple fronts. Fighting a war on two fronts is ridiculous. Okay? The idea behind the second front in the Mediterranean was to give the Turkish military something else to think about, so that they're not steady pounding Russia. You know what I mean? The idea was to take the British idea, the Commonwealth idea, the Allies. The idea was to take the Dardanelles, which is a thin strip of water between the Gallipoli Peninsula. I can't even talk this morning. The Gallipoli Peninsula and Turkey. This would allow a supply line to Russia through the Sea of Marmara. I'll get it right in a minute. I got it wrote down. I still can't read it right. That's pretty amazing. The first attempt was completely naval type situation. They were trying to take it with just the Navy. The first attempt resulted in the loss of 3 Allied battleships due to sea mines. They had mined the area. So naval, it wasn't getting it done. The British High Command then opted for a land campaign to take Gallipoli. The first amphibious landing had to be aborted due to landing errors. This was the first blunder, and in my opinion, it started a domino effect. Once this happened, everything beyond it cascaded into failure, and I'll get to that in the end of this. This incompetence allowed the Turkish defenders time to reinforce. You give somebody time and let them know you're coming, yeah, they're gonna clean your clock. It's just the way it is. On April 25th, 1915, the British were able to establish beachheads at Cape Helles, Helles, on the southern shore of the peninsula. I'll get it right in a minute. I'm still trying to make my words. Use your word, Lynn. While the Australian and New Zealand troops occupied Anzac Cove 10 miles up the eastern coast. So you've got this peninsula. The British troops established a beachhead on the south, and 10 miles up on the eastern side, the Australian and New Zealand troops got a beachhead too. So you had 2 beachheads, right? Despite the beachheads, the Allies failed to exploit their grip on the peninsula. This left the British and Commonwealth troops trapped under Turkish guns, artillery, and German Maxim machine guns. Okay, did a video on the Somme. Go check that out. Between the constant shelling and waves of disease, by the 6th of August, the Allies had suffered 30,000 casualties. That's appalling. And they hadn't made any progress. They're stuck on the beach. Okay. The British made for their landings the British made further landings. I can't read my own writing now. at Suvla Bay, just to the north of Anzac Cove. So you've got the British here, you've got the New Zealanders and the Australians here. Just north of that, another British beachhead. Poor command and a lack of initiative left those troops in the same predicament as the first two landings. So they're just targets. By 9 January 1916, the Allied troops were evacuated. The debacle cost the Allies 46,000 dead and more than 150,000 wounded. 196,000 casualties. Because they couldn't figure out how to get off the beach. In any amphibious landing, surprise and a quick progression of objectives is paramount. You don't land and sit there. You land and you move and take this. You land and you move and take that. Whatever you're going to do it. Don't sit there. The enemy probably knows you're coming. In this case, they were forewarned because the first landings failed. They're like, holy crap, they're going to land over here. Put troops over here. Let's get machine guns up there and artillery. Now, as soon as they come, we'll pound them. That's basically what the Turks did. And you can't blame them. Any idiot would do that. And I'm not calling the Turks idiots, but I'm saying that anybody would do that. It doesn't take a genius to say, oh, they're going to land over there. Let's get our artillery over here and get some machine guns set up so when they do, we can kill them. That's war. Okay? You have to hit them with surprise. They have to be surprise landings. On other amphibious landings, for example, in World War II, the D-Day invasions, the Germans sort of knew they were coming, but the surprise of hitting them and then trying to get off the beach quickly, that was the key. We lost a lot of guys on D-Day, but it could have been a lot worse. If they'd have just sat there, they would have all been wiped out. Because the Germans had significant defenses already lined up, machine guns, artillery, they had tanks in reserve. They were ready. They knew an invasion was coming. They just didn't know where or when. So they had it set up, and luckily in the areas we hit, the French resistance was able to destroy a lot of their logistical stuff, their infrastructure, the trains, the communications, that kind of thing, and we were able to advance further than just the beach quickly. And that's the idea. Get off the beach quick. Go find some place to hide. Take one of their places and be able to maneuver and get inland. Simply dropping your guys off on the beach under the enemy guns with no plan to move forward inland off the beach just creates a shooting gallery with your troops as the targets. And that's what happened here. The British and the Allied people didn't have a plan once they established the beachhead. I think they were just surprised they established the beachhead. Okay, what do we do now? I don't know. That kind of thing. Improper planning and a lack of initiative can kill a lot of people. It'll fill a lot of coffins. That's a fact. You can ask any military leader that, and they'll tell you that. That's what happened here. Improper planning and a lack of initiative. What I mean by the lack of initiative, the commanders, once they're on the beach, they realize, gee, we're sitting ducks here. Let's get the hell off this beach. Okay? Improper planning and a lack of initiative. They just sit there. So, hope this finds everybody well, and I hope you're enjoying these military blunder videos because I like doing them. I do a lot of wargaming, and these military blunder videos help wargamers in all kinds of stuff. The tactics that I talk about, the strategies that failed, are teaching moments in war games. That's what the main reason why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to go, oh look, I'm smart and they're stupid. No. The whole point is to help my gamers. So, my gaming friends. So, hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.